All right, the lip balm has been applied, and we are here with another episode of Off Trail with Luke and Chandler. I'm Luke.
I'm Chandler with moisturized lips.
Oh, yeah, and this is Off Trail. All right, a little inside joke for all y'all.
Yep.
Just before recording, he had to make sure I knew that lip balm was being applied.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I did a job interview one time, and dry mouth the whole time. And somebody afterwards was like, "Hey, man, just put on some chapstick." And it's like, it'll help with dry mouth. I was like, I don't know if that makes sense at all, but I started doing it, and it works.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
A little tidbit for you.
Yeah.
But today, we wanted to share like a little experience we had when we were down in Capitol Reef a while back. It's one of the 5 big national parks in Utah. Maybe the least visited.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I not for a good reason. I mean, it deserves more attention.
Yeah. As far as rankings go, it's my
Number 3.
3. Yeah.
Numero tres. But we were in Capitol Reef, specifically driving up into Cathedral Valley, which is an incredible place.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
It's amazing.
Very remote. The roads can be a little sketchy, so
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
Yeah.
But we were driving through there. We did a little hiking around there, just seeing some areas of that we haven't seen before because we've been there. So we just were back again. And as we were out and about, the thought hit us. I feel like almost at the same time
Yeah.
that Capitol Reef just feels and looks old.
It does.
Like,
yeah.
really old.
Like it's ancient.
Yeah, like much more so than maybe all the other parks I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like it just has this feeling.
Yeah.
that it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Like you look at the cliffs and everything, it's like it feels like they've seen some stuff, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like they've been through the ringer.
Yeah. It's funny because I had made that comment to somebody at one point. I was like, this place, we were down there, and I was like, this place it just feels like there's a feeling here. There's a vibe, as people say, like there's a feeling that you get when you're in places like this. And they were like, hey man, the desert is old. He's like, it's seen some things, and it's got some, not to be dramatic, but it's got some secrets,
Yeah,
it's ancient.
But again, we should research this, I guess, just to check it. But say like a place like Arches and Canyonlands, both. You know, to form those things, the arches and the big canyons with the river and stuff like that takes a lot of time too.
Yeah.
But being in both of those places, I don't get the same feeling.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like I do from Capitol Reef. Like something about the cliffs and just the land around it.
Yeah.
And maybe it helps like with the rocks at Cathedral Valley. That it's just like you cannot help but kind of be in awe for just the feeling of what this place is like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, like it's just been around the block a couple times.
Yeah. I don't really, and it also helps too. We were driving around and looking at all the different cliffs and stuff, and you can see, different lines and stuff in the cliffs, different stripes of different types of rocks and things. And I don't think I've ever been to another place that just feels like it takes me back in time.
Absolutely.
Like that place does.
Yeah. Like all those lines in the cliffs, it's almost like they feel like scars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're looking at some things that happened on Earth thousands, millions of years ago, which, I mean, you are, because that's how old this place kind of is.
Yeah. That's what they are. That's what the lines are. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, it's just a weird feeling almost. And you look around, like, it's just, like, I have a lot more respect about it for it, because it feels like a very mature place.
Yeah.
And
does.
especially Cathedral Valley, because it's not as visited, because it's harder to get to. Like, there's not many people out there. So, and I think actually every time we've been out there, it's basically just been us.
Yeah, I've been out there 3 times, and every single time I've been out there, I've been entirely alone.
Yeah. So like, it's just you.
Yeah.
In this place that feels incredibly old. And like, you just feel it. And like, it just kind of washes over you in a way. And you can't escape it. And it's just a different feeling being in a place like that compared to, the Tetons, Yellowstone, Rocky Mountain, like any other park, even Zion, Bryce, like all the other parks that I feel like I've ever been to. I just don't get that same feeling.
Yeah.
They just feel like new and young and hip, and it's like,
Yeah.
some of the tourism helps that, a little bit too. But like just the look of the place doesn't compare.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because, you think about the Tetons, for example, geologically speaking, the Tetons are a very young mountain range. When you look at mountain ranges, that's kind of how you can gauge on how old they are. If they're really like jagged and prominent and spiky and stuff, they're typically much like younger mountain ranges. So, but someplace like Cathedral Valley where you still have incredible features and stuff, but you don't have the big jagged mountains.
Yeah, like it's tough because like it's impressive still, but like it's not like the same kind of impressive.
It's a
like
different
the
kind of
Tetons.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to appreciate it a little more to really find it impressive.
Yeah.
In the same way, and like Capitol Reef is. I guess I haven't done as much in Canyonlands either, but like those two, like I haven't done as much in, but like, like even having done as little as I have in Capitol Reef, I'm like, this is a special place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Canyonlands, same way for me too. It's like I know, like for me, that's gonna be park number 2 in the list of Utah parks.
Yeah.
But Capitol Reef is 3. And like I've done the least in those 2 parks.
Yeah.
And I put them up above Arches and Bryce.
You need to see more of the main, because I think once you get to the main, so I'm at this point where Zion is my number 1 park.
Yeah, same.
And Canyonlands is my number 2.
Same.
But I've seen much more of Capitol Reef than you have, and I'm at the point of flipping Capitol Reef and Canyonlands.
Ooh.
So, like it's really close. I love Capitol Reef. Once you see the rest of it, it's unreal.
Man,
so
that's saying something.
yeah,
Man.
so
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a place like it's a different feeling, and it's something that like I don't know how to exactly describe it, but when you're standing in Cathedral Valley with Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon around you, and just cliffs on the other sides, like it just feels like you're in this timeless place,
yeah,
and that's a feeling you just can't get anywhere else.
no. There's very, very few places that give that feeling.
Yeah, and I actually made the comment when we were driving in. Like when we could first see Temple of the Sun and Temple of the Moon, it's like, you can understand when you see things like this, especially for like the first time, how the ancient people would have seen these things and like revered them.
Yeah,
because they're special things.
And looked at them as temples.
Yeah.
I don't think I was so. When we first went last January, I was shocked at how big Temple of the Moon, Temple of the Sun. Like, I still I can't believe how big.
They're big rocks.
It's insane. And what's funny too is like, and maybe this is just a testament to how old they are, but they look fragile. Like they look like they could crumble at any second. Like they just look like big, solid piles of sandstone. I mean they are, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's things like that I don't know. I like to try and notice if I can about places because it's like it really connects you with the land better. Like it's like, oh, like I feel like I'm almost looking at the same thing, the same old thing that our ancient ancestors looked at.
Yeah,
and I know it's different being here in America compared to like in Asia, Africa, all places, but like it's like I feel like very similar to those people in a way. The same thing you look at the stars, the Milky Way at night. It's like you're looking at things that have existed forever.
Yeah, it's almost existential.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why it's funny. Like I was talking with Tristan Sadler, and he's made a comment. He's like, the desert is a spiritual place.
Yeah.
And it really is.
Yeah.
And it's for this reason.
Yeah.
Because like everything there, it just like there's nothing else besides like the few things that you're in those areas, and it's like you have that, you have the stars, and it's like it's life.
Yeah.
Like you're just immersed in it more strongly than you can get in the city.
Yeah.
Like that's why we go to some of these places, is to like just really connect with a different kind of life, a life that again our ancestors lived.
Yeah.
Much more primitive.
Yeah. That's an interesting word, spiritual, because it really is. Sometimes for good and sometimes for bad, because we've been to some spots where it's like I don't feel that great about this area. There's not as many of those areas around out there, but it's weird. It's weird how a place like that where there's nobody can generate such a strong feeling like that.
Yeah, like it just something about these places that feel old, that are impressive in their own unique way.
Yeah.
They just engender this feeling of respect
Yeah.
for the land, for history, for everything.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just humbled by them.
Yep.
Not by their impressive scale and size, like say the Tetons, the Rockies, you know, Yosemite. It's like it's a different kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That's hard to find.
Yeah. I think one of the things too that we were looking at when we were down there that was kind of, you know, we talked a little bit about the layering and the rocks and stuff, but it's weird the type of layering, because you get like the rainbow hills, you know, the red, blue, and white hills that happen, and then you also get just like regular looking hills right next to it. You know, they look like anything you would see anywhere else in the world, and then you get like stacks of lava right next to that, and then big strips and spines of lava, and it's weird.
It's like I said earlier. It's like something happened there.
Yeah,
you know, it's like this place saw something like big bad happen.
Yeah,
it's like it's just scarred up. It's like a battlefield almost. It's like, you know, and it's a cool. It's like very humbling to have the opportunity to be in places like that. And it's a special thing.
Yeah,
like it's not something I take lightly.
Yeah, no, me neither.
You know, and that's a big reason why we try to protect these places.
Yeah,
you know, not only with, you know, some of these places being distinguished as national parks or state parks or what have you, but it's why, you know, and this is a conversation for another day, but why we as, you know, Utah locals who respect and revere these places, like we try to keep it, you know, kind of low key if we can, and not make sure it gets trampled over by a bunch of tourists, because it would change everything about these places.
Yeah, it really would. The whole feeling would change, and I mean, a lot of these places are super fragile too. You know, they're old and they're falling apart. So like, we don't want to, you know, obviously they're not falling apart day by day, but like, you know, if you start bringing a lot of people in, it just falls apart faster.
Yeah, you know, like my footsteps alone on the little path I walked around, like, you know, those just get washed out real quick.
Yeah.
The next rain that comes through, because that place floods like crazy too.
Yeah.
Like those will get washed out, and like my footsteps won't last.
Yeah.
But if you bring 1,000 people in there, you're going to see some change in that landscape relatively quickly.
Yep.
Because things won't grow back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, look at Horseshoe Bend.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of aerial photos of that from like 10 years ago. There's like one little trail that went out to it. Now there's a whole parking lot. There's a bunch of trail. Like the whole area that leads up to Horseshoe Bend is completely different just in the last 10 years.
Right.
So,
and you know, it's something like that, which is maybe like a good example, at least, of like how to properly protect something. It's like, okay, people are going to come. We understand that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to build a little parking lot. Here's a trail you can go on. It's all you get.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to take some of those measures to protect it.
Yeah.
You know, a place like Capitol Reef in Cathedral Valley, at least, like, you're not going to see a ton of tourists because
you can't get back there.
You can't get back there.
Yeah, there's sometimes I don't feel like I can get back there.
Yeah.
You know, if you're there in the wrong time of the year.
Yeah, wrong time of year, you are screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, there was some insane flooding.
Yeah. I think a lot of times half the year that road is closed because it's just impassable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful going back there. You know, when we were back there, we actually on Sunday morning it snowed.
We were like, oh my gosh,
we woke up to snow.
Out.
We're like, yeah, we don't want to mess around with this.
Yeah.
Like, because it's gonna get wet.
Yeah.
So we may as well get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Capitol Reef is, again, like the second time I've been back into Cathedral Valley now, and I haven't done even the main part of Capitol Reef, but it's like I have a different kind of respect for it.
Yeah.
Than I do a lot of other parks.
It's cool, man.
And like it just tells me that I need to go do the rest of it.
Yeah. There's just a lot there too. I think it's really underrated. I don't think you know this, but if you go into Capitol Reef on the west end, there's a big area that looks like Goblin Valley.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of little hoodoos and stuff. Huh. There's just a lot of variety there. Yeah. You don't really get with a lot of the other parks. So, I don't know. It's just a cool spot.
Yeah. And something else we had talked about too, and this is all kind of speculation. We did not do our homework, but as you're walking around Cathedral Valley, you see the orange cliffs and stuff, right? And you can kind of see how they have begun to and have been eroding over time. And there's certain little spots you notice, and you're like, that kind of looks like the beginning of how Bryce Canyon formed.
Yeah, which I think is a pretty accurate assessment because Bryce Canyon design and Capitol Reef, excuse me, they all kind of exist. Like they were built on the same like shelf, I guess. I don't know exactly what the term is. But like Grand Staircase.
Yeah.
Like Grand Staircase is that's like a geological formation that runs up the entire center of Utah. And Bryce, Zion, and Capitol Reef were all formed on along a lot. Oh my gosh,
He can't talk today,
can't
guys.
talk along a lot of the like same things that happened, and so a lot of the same rock formations exist there. A lot of the same types of rocks, and so
Yeah. And so it's almost like, again, this is speculation, but like it begs the questions like, well, is this place, Capitol Reef, kind of what like Bryce Canyon used to look like?
yeah,
Which is kind of cool.
it's really cool.
And
yeah.
then, you know, like Zion seems to be, you know, more complete than Capitol Reef is. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, is Zion going to become this one day?
yeah,
And it's just, there are questions that open up all kinds of possibilities and just wonder about, you know, Earth's natural features. And it's a cool thing.
yeah,
It's a cool exercise to do. And just, again, you go to these places and you just can't help but be fascinated by them.
yeah, exactly.
Even if you're not a photographer like us, like paying attention to a lot of these small details, it's like, there's just something different
Yeah,
about these places. It's why we go and do this stuff.
exactly. It's super cool too, seeing how all these different parks are connected as well. Like Canyonlands in Grand Canyon are formed from a lot of the same
same
stuff.
river.
Same river forms those
Colorado.
two parks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Canyonlands also has Green River, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing that's happening. In Canyonlands, Grand Canyon is just a deeper version of Canyonlands.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. Those parks are connected in that way. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
All of life is connected.
it's all connected.
All of our national parks are connected. And if you're not connected with us yet, you need to be. So make sure you go follow us on Instagram and social media. Yeah, it was a great transition.
Such a good. Yeah.
Chandler loved it. But you can also connect with us here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel 'cause we have tons of content we're trying to get out to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that little notification bell so you get notified when we post something new.
Yeah.
But you know, leave a comment too. If you've got a story about a cool place like this, like we'd love to hear it because like these are the things that we live for. Like we want to go to these places, have these experiences, and you know, see what it's like from other people's perspectives too, on you know what these places are like.
Yeah.
So by all means, please share something with us. You know, and if you're listening on podcasts, like we're on all major podcasting platforms, so find us there as well if you prefer audio only. You know, if you're driving to work,
Yeah.
it's a great podcast to put on for your morning commute.
It's yeah.
You
I
can
would
hear
agree.
our soothing voices.
Yeah.
You know, Chandler almost, I don't know, threw up there or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd
Dude,
love to.
I'm struggling today.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Be sure to connect with us,
Yeah, please do.
and we'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.